Want to see why I love the Dakotas? You know, South Dakota, North Dakota. Reason I love them is because when you look into the Dakotas, you realize it makes no sense why they have so many historical buildings that were built in the 1800s when they literally had a population of 14,181 people in the 1870s. And if you do the math based on censuses that you get from mainstream knowledge, that means only 2,485 of those humans were between the ages of 14 and 60, which I guess are good enough ages to work. Let's look up the Dakotas and we'll take a look and see what the heck is going on here, because it doesn't really make much sense to have that many historical buildings in an area where you didn't have a lot of people. Alright, so the Dakotas. The territory now known as the Dakotas includes a large portion of the ancestral land of Native American tribes, in particular various tribes of the Sioux, such as the Dakota people, also known as the Santee Sioux. The United States government takes its claim to the land through the Louisiana Purchase and Rupert's Land Acquisition. The region historically involved a complex series of conflicts between the U.S. government and Native American tribes and among themselves. The region was part of the Minnesota and Nebraska territories until 1861. The fall of 1861 resulted in poor harvest and was followed by a harsh winter, leading to extreme hardship for the Dakota and the region. Desperate for food and money, they were denied loans for local traders. The series of raids in the spring of 1862 ultimately resulted in Dakota War of 1862 between the U.S. government and the Dakota people. The U.S. won the war in the aftermath, which included a mass hanging of 38 people on December 26, 1862. Oh my god, the mass execution in history remain. Oh my god. You know what I hear right here? I hear the biggest crock of crap. The biggest crock. Betty Crocker-sized crock, potted, big beef stew crock pot full of crock, because these Indian wars, all of this nonsense history, these tiny little houses, then these huts, and then these cities made of wooden shitty structures, and then these buildings, these lovely beautiful buildings. So thanks to record keeping here in the good old America, we have, as far as what's still standing, I mean, they tore down tons of things, but fortunately we still have records. So we have North Dakota with 451 historical things still standing, and we have South Dakota with 1,352, a big whopping 1,352. So let's take a look at some of these places, see what they look like, because they were very busy fighting Indian wars and doing all sorts of stuff in the late 1800s. And you do got to remember, these are the buildings that they did not destroy by knocking them down and burning them in a fire. Look at the Adams County Courthouse. Look at this mud flood photo. How sweet is this? This is an awesome photo. Ah, goodness gracious. This is actually hilarious because it says the Adams County Courthouse is a 3-story brick courthouse building, North Dakota, built in 1928. Really? 1928? We built it into the dirt like that? Why is it being covered in who would build it like that? How? Come on now, man. We built it just like that with the windows being covered in mud. I don't think so. This is a picture of when they found the building, but not when they built it, or when they dedicated it, or when it burnt down, or any other stupid stories that we get. Alright, so now we have a United States Post Office. Let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, it definitely looks like we built it. I love when they do this. They slip in the buildings that we actually build, But it's so great because it really shows us the true contrast between the things we do actually build and then what we clearly do not build and obviously cannot build because, again, we do not build them. If we could, we would. I would love to think that we don't not build them because they're not beautiful. Because we think that the glass and metal structures that we put up are more beautiful. I would pray that that's not the case. How about the big concrete places with big glass windows that sell plastic crap that nobody needs anymore? Because we're sick of plastic crap because we don't need it anymore. Don't you just want some good quality things? Not crap anymore? Why are there so many dollar stores? What is going on here? Anyway. Alright, so another perfect example. Look at this absolutely beautiful building. Always with the granite pillars. Always with the beautiful granite pillars. And then in the domes and all of it, man. It's beautiful. And then we have this. Built at the same time. Yep. Actually, it's because the first building was built by a really master mason, and the second building was built by his brother, who, God bless him, he's a hell of a guy, and I love him. Love him. Great guy, did a lot of amazing things in history, but not a good builder. This is the next building that was supposedly built in 1906. But it annoys me because it says that this courthouse replaces a previous courthouse built in 1905. This has been explained because what they do here is they try and just erase buildings by saying that they got burned in fires, but it's just their way of explaining away why buildings don't exist anymore when there is photographic evidence of buildings that don't exist anymore. They need to have fire stories for everything that they ripped down. You cannot burn a granite building. You could pour gasoline all over a granite building. Granite and brick building, it's not going to burn. That's why you build fireplaces out of brick. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit follow, because I'm going to be bringing you more episodes just like this. I got to get going tonight, but I wanted to do one quick episode. I love everybody, and this is, of course, for entertainment, just for the sake of all the social media platforms that love to ban me. If you want to go to my website, go to my social media on Instagram, Andrew John the Creator, and find my website there. Peace.